Join me and cast your mind back to early 2016. It feels like a lifetime ago. We were just before the midpoint of this console generation. We'd enjoyed Bloodborne and The Witcher 3 the year before, and we even had some hope for the future, because we were utter fucking fools. But specifically, at this point, Doom 2016 wasn't exactly high on my hype list. It had some cool trailers, but it's cooler looking at them now than back then. Doom had been dormant for 13 years, and this was its first game since Rage, a game that magically disappears from the mind at the end of every sentence it's mentioned in. Oh yeah, there was a sequel last year, and there it goes too. Plus, there was a multiplayer beta beforehand that was kind of really lame. I even made a video about it at the time. Please don't watch it, it's not very good. Bethesda then held back review copies, which was a universal sign at the time that the game was probably going to be a disaster. And on top of all of this, there was a real feeling that the old school style of shooter was dead forever outside of like Doom World. Call of Duty was still king fuck of Gun Mountain, and even though there had been some smaller developers going after some more niche experiences, the shooter's level of quality was a bit all over the place. Heck, Shadow Warrior 2 was coming out that year, and it was now a looter shooter. If Shadow Warrior 2 getting the hell out of Dodge wasn't a nail in the coffin, then I don't know what is. So, hopes weren't high that Doom could single-handedly save classic-style shooters. No game just comes out and resurrects a dead genre by itself. That just does not happen. Ever. Right? The first time playing it, oh boy, here we go. Let's break down that experience. So you boot it up, and here we go. Let's go play some new Doom. Hopefully you'll at least let me down gently, so I won't go to bed crying tonight. Little did you know, though, that the game fully knew what you were thinking about it, and it was ready for you. You hit new game, and you're given this flavor text on the load screen.
So you walk eternally through the shadow realms, standing against evil where all others falter. May your thirst for retribution never quench. May the blood on your sword never dry. And may we never need you again.
Huh. That's pretty metal. Like John Romero's end screen text dumps in Quake. Well, alright then. Let's go in and...
They are rage. Brutal. Without mercy. But you will be worse. Rip and tear. Until it is done.
Wait, rip and tear? The joke, the fucking meme before memes from the Doom comic being presented completely unironically right at the start of this game. That takes you off guard. You don't realize it yet, but the game has just told you it had your number. It's smart. It knows what you want. After a short moment where you break free from your chains, kill a zombie, you shoot the others with a pistol, and bang, you're in. You're playing the new Doom. Let's press this button and open this door and... oh.
We have to contain this.
Uh-huh. Sure is some story there. Go in, get your armor, see visions of Hellspawn you're just burning to kill, and it's time to get ready to get your murder on. Just as soon as we set up an overarching objective to justify our demon murder. Like you need one. Satellite array, cool. Let's go and... oh.
Welcome. I'm Dr. Samuel Hayden. I'm the head of this facility. I think we can work together and resolve this problem in a way that benefits us both.
Nope. So a lot has been made already of this single moment in all the analysis of this game, of the Slayer tossing aside the monitor in not only pure disgust and ambivalence to whatever the science team was doing to unleash the hordes of hell, but also in the player's own reticence to being overloaded with exposition and story in a Doom game. But the details here really sell this. The voice coming at you is reminiscent of the audio logs of Doom 3, the plentiful exposition dumps that one could say work hard to establish a lived-in atmosphere and work to deliver the terror that the game was trying to invoke. But on the other hand, someone else could say they are fucking boring and are far too frequent, and it's hard to even hear them over the ambient noises in the sound mix. So you have to find a quiet corner and hope you're not disturbed as you listen to them, which is such a pace killer, even in a game that's deliberately got a slower pace. But the comparison between these two goes just that little bit deeper when you see the computer operating system is incredibly similar to the computers in Doom 3 as well. And they were prominent in Doom 3. John Carmack was proud of those computers. So what we end up with in Doom 2016 is the Slayer literally throwing Doom 3 aside, saying we're not about that anymore. Okay, I'm listening. What else do you have for me, game? You're presented with this tutorial corridor full of zombies to murder, where you're introduced to the glory kill system, and any fears one might have had about such a system being a string of elaborate pre-animated takedown moves that would kill the flow are killed, just like these infected scientists. These are quick, entertaining to watch, and there's a tangible benefit to doing them in the form of health pickups. Right, you've now got the basics down. Let's kick it up a notch. Shotgun time! You're done with the pistol. That might even be the last time you use the pistol, depending on if you want to do the optional challenges later on. Better guns need better enemies. So here's the imp, screaming his head off because he's just realized who's walked in the door and he knows he's fucked. The shotgun is just nice. I actually still use this shotgun throughout the whole game because it's so fun to use and not to mention useful with the weapon mods. But that's neither here nor there right now. Although a good shotgun is another way this game isn't Doom 3. Right, time for your first exam. Go to the gore nest, rip and tear, and get to killing. Imps then come in right for the murdering, and this cleverly made room is here to make sure you've absorbed everything you've learned so far. See, the imps are actually a clever choice to bring at you first rather than, say, the possessed soldiers who come later on in the same level, because the imps are agile. They cling to walls, jump around, and generally love to move. So there's an element of needing to catch them first in order to exercise them. So this room that has these boxes and platforms around, you're now learning about Doom 2016's increased verticality and movement. Not only that, but their attacks, and actually all ranged attacks in the game, are projectiles. Projectiles that can be dodged. If you do get hit, there are several bright, easy to spot health and armor pickups scattered around the arena to get you into the reckless pace the game demands. This arena is actively planting the seeds for what you need to be utilizing in order to survive the later levels. That's game design basics, sure, but when you need to teach the player, who, given the time period, may be raised on shooters where you sit still and hide behind cover, the art of moving and shooting constantly or dying, this is the perfect way to get them started. Right, they're all dead, and it feels good, but you want even more. By this point, you're in. You want more. Doom's back, shooters are cool again, you're ready to rip and tear your way to victory. But just to make sure there's no shadow of a doubt, we have this peerless moment in the elevator, which I want to let play out. It's a cutscene, sure, but oh, this is earned.
I'm willing to take full responsibility for the horrible events of the last 24 hours, but you must understand. Our interest in their world was purely for the betterment of mankind. Everything has clearly gotten out of hand now, yes. But it was worth the risk, I assure you.
And off you go, to murder demons forever. But let's just dissect that cherry on top of this wonderful trifle of a first level. We really hammer home how much the Slayer, and by extension we, do not trust Hayden. He's defending himself, but people are dead. The only trust we can have is in ourselves and in our weapons. And while smashing the intercom emphasizes this as well, it's also the perfect cut to black moment to bring out this giant title drop for some sweet adrenaline to the brain, which is supercharged thanks to Mick Gordon, who, throughout all that, is slaying, pun fucking intended, a new version of At Doom's Gate from E1M1 of Doom 1. And if that wasn't enough, the cherry on top of the cherry, you cock your gun to the beat of the music. Absolutely wonderful. You are sold on Doom. You're ready to embrace rip and tear as a new way of living, and the boomer shooter renaissance has begun. Doom 2016 is not a perfect game, but this is a perfect introduction. It is a thesis statement on what they're setting out to do with this, with Doom as a series and a love letter to its fans to show that they get it. I say again that no other genre has quite had something like this happen. Just an explosive return to form contained within a 15-minute chunk that single-handedly shows how you can revive a series. Honestly, I hope in the future that Doom and Doom Eternal influence some publishers to say, maybe, just maybe, some of the old ideas that we've thrown to the wayside, there could be something still in them. They could come back. Although they're probably just picking out which corpse to ring out for the live service bucks. See you later.